Well, speaking of moving on to the next phase, John Wick is entering the next phase of his life, so to speak. We get the trailer for John Wick Chapter 4, which I have my own issues with this, in that we have John Wick, the great underrated action movie, then John Wick Chapter 2, then John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. I'm going, oh cool, we're naming them now. Nope. John Wick Chapter 4. We're back to just chapters, so we're going to have this one awkward one-off John Wick that was titled something, and now the rest of them aren't. It's just a weird nitpick. But putting that aside, John Wick is one of the most reliably entertaining action franchises for me, and I knew that I'd be invested in this because, oh yeah, Donnie Yen's in this, so Josh is going to be there as soon as humanly possible. I actually forgot Bill Skarsgard was in this, and I'm going, oh, he looks like if The Miz was in a John Wick movie in terms of just having the most punchable face in an action movie in the world.
How does Bill, like, I know he's older than me, but how does he always consistently look like he's this young, schmarmy 25-year-old who is just like here to take over your world in the worst possible way? Yeah, like, but the new trailer for John Wick 4 is fantastic.
With your boy Donnie Yen.
Dude, okay, so let me get this straight, okay? Just let me get this straight. You're gonna tell me we're doing a fourth John Wick film, and you got, Keanu Reeves, who's fantastic, love him to death. You're gonna put in Donnie Yen, who is easily one of my favorite action stars, martial arts stars are out there. But also my boy Scott Atkins is going to be in this film.
Is he? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, like, dude, there's so I'm going to bring talk about your feelings, but I don't want to bring up the cast list because I am getting literally the only person that's missing is Tony Jaa. That's literally the only person that's missing.
So, okay, while you look up the cast list, I'm just going to throw this theory out there. I think even if you look up the cast list, there's going to be one name that'll make a surprise cameo: Ana de Armas. Because they're currently filming Ballerina, the spin-off from John Wick 3, when we met the Ballerina hit squad, more or less. That's filming right now, and I would not be surprised if, yes, I know that more or less gets spun out of John Wick 3. I wouldn't be surprised if we meet that character very briefly in this one first to kind of set that up.
I agree.
I really, really dug this trailer. However, I will put out a bold prediction now. This trailer is proposing of, all right, John, you've done all this bad stuff, and apparently him and Winston are just cool. They're like, oh yeah, you shot me off a building. It's cool. Thanks for not aiming for the head. I'm pretty sure that's how the conversation will go. We're good now.
Yeah.
But supposedly John Wick, once again, can get himself out of the trouble that he's caused, and he can be a free man if he can beat Pennywise in a duel at sunrise. And of course, the guy from Barbarian that we talked about earlier today is going to throw every obstacle in his way to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm predicting now, in true John Wick fashion, John will miss the cutoff just barely. Like, he will be late just barely due to Bill Skarsgard's interference. Now, they say in the trailer, if you're not there for the duel, you will be executed. My prediction now is John Wick will be late by like a minute or just barely miss the duel, and he'll be up for execution. But Winston steps in, and he's executed by Bill Skarsgard and his guys, setting up John Wick 5, which is a full-on revenge for the death of his mentor figure in Winston for John Wick 5, because somehow they've got to keep these going. They're going to keep going and going, and John Wick will never be able to catch a break. Also, I just want him... I need, at some point, either in this movie or in a future John Wick movie, John Wick and the concierge to be like the two last men standing and go just maul through everyone, because the concierge is the real MVP of these movies.
No, he really is. And it's going to be interesting. We're going to see more of Lawrence Fishburne's character. We're going to see more of... I'm really curious who... it's the I think it's the guy with the it's Shimazu is the character in the movie. It's,
the guy that was in the most recent Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. I love him in pretty much everything he's in. But yeah, I'm gonna be very, very curious because there's a line, and I need to go back and rewatch the trailer and make sure I heard it right. There's a line in the trailer that is some interesting plot details that was not discussed in the previous movies. It's something about like, so Winston basically like, hey, you've been invited to come to the table to kind of be set free or whatever. And John's like, I thought you had to have family at the table to be able to, come and meet. And he's like, well, you do.
Yeah, your family has been on the table. I'm going, what?
So I'll be curious. It will be a little bit like, because there's a lot of John's past that we do not know, and there's for better or for worse, that is kind of a cool detail about him. But that being said, how wild would it be that if John finds out that he is actually like his family's the one that set up the table in the first place, and like set everything, which is very like assassin savior fantasy novel kind of thing that I could totally see happening. But like, it's just there could be some really, really, really cool, fun stuff to happen if it ends up being like, hey, yeah, like I'm actually like all y'all's boss. So this is weird. Not a position I want to be in, but I'll take it.
Or you could absolutely 100% see Keanu do the classic, my family created the table. I guess it's my turn to end it, and I will. Or just something like something.
Yeah.
I don't want to say cheesy because it may not be the right terminology for this, but John Wick movies are always very aware of what they are. They know.
That line in the trailer where he's like, I'm gonna need a god.
Going,
like,
yes, John.
Yeah. Just John, we know that's your thing.
What I need, maybe they'll do it for this one. I highly doubt it. It's just John Wick, the gun game. He starts off with no weapons and he has to kill someone with his bare hands. Then he gets a pencil, then he gets a knife, then he gets a pistol, then he gets a shotgun, and he like has to go through a whole rotation to finally
to the point that he's killing the last boss with a rocket launcher.
It's him and Skarsgard, rocket launcher face off.
I love it. I would pay to see that. I mean, I'm going to pay to see this regardless. But
yeah.
There ain't no way I'm not seeing this in theaters.
And it's honestly just how soon before John Wick 5? Because they want to keep making these because Keanu's not getting any younger. But I appreciate that with each passing movie, they're trying to add more lore and depth to it. It's not just, here's guy in black suit, he gonna kill some people. There's actually interesting stuff to it, like whatever is happening with that Continental show. I know it got moved, I think, from Peacock to like Amazon or Paramount or someplace, or it got moved to Peacock. Whatever's happening with the Continental show, I'm still curious about what's going on with that. I'm curious about the ballerina show, and that's all because these movies have done such a good job of setting up the universe. It never feels like they're trying to sequel bait us, like Amazing Spider-Man 2 situation. This feels like if spinoffs happen, it's because they happen naturally. Like if tomorrow they came out and said, Common's character from John Wick 2 is getting a spinoff movie, I'd go, okay, I'll probably be interested in that. He's still alive. John Wick left a big old knife in his chest, but he's still alive. I'd be curious about that.
I agree. Or even just like, even just seeing like some more of Halle Berry's character and like her backstory could be
her and the dogs,
dude. And those dogs make an appearance in the trailer. So I'm so excited.
Also, Nymphadora Tonks from Harry Potter.
Oh, dude, I'm just excited. This is gonna be so much fun. I can't. Oh man,
Gun Fu is in this.
So what you're telling me is Christian Bale's going to come in and talk about Equilibrium.
It's not the last time we'll talk about Equilibrium looking stuff.